Hey there, Wargamers, Justin the Art Painter here, and we are now live. For those of you guys who tuned in early, thank you, I appreciate it. We got Bob here, we got Colby, Mr. Eagle Eye, hanging out. Thank you for popping in, thank you for keeping a view here. I appreciate it, thank you. Bob, I don't know if you're actively in the chat. Let's see here. Send you a message directly. Let's see. All right, answering a couple of messages on the Facebook real fast here at the start. Business stuff and Bob's stuff. But yeah, we're getting ready to start doing some stuff today. I hope you guys are doing well. Mr. Java, how are you? Mr. Java. I feel like a ghost. I feel like the light is really blasting me. Like, I'm getting a suntan. But yeah, so anyways, I do want to show you guys a thing that came in the mail today, and I would like to show you what I worked on yesterday at the shop, because I worked on stuff at the shop, as I sometimes do. Let me get my Instagram up real quick. All right, so let's switch cameras here. Boom. Yo, you're cutting that close, man. Last minute Christmas shopping. Woo. Well, Java, hopefully hanging out with me will break up the monotony of meetings just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, so we'll show you guys these in a moment. But I got some cool stuff in the mail today. I want to check it out. Might not be using them today, but I do want to peruse them. I'm going to... a surprise go live. What's that? This company here sent me some paintbrushes to check out. And we're going to open these up. See what we got here. So these ship a lot like Winsor Newton Series 7s do. Yep, we'll have to give these a shot. They sent them to me to try. So we'll see what we can do. Yep, this is a dry brush. Okay, I was looking for the tag on there. So that first one is... It says precision. I think that's a medium is what they're calling it. Utility brush. So this one's like a base coating. Yeah, so synthetics. It's like what I've been using to blend with. And a precision small. Okay, so they're using like small, medium instead of 0, 00, stuff like that. It does say Kolinsky. So we're gonna give these a shot at some point on the stream. You guys know I like trying out new stuff. And I had made a comment on Instagram when I saw them come across my feed. And I was like, hey, you know, if you ever want somebody to try out your brushes, I'll try them out. And they sent me a message. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So we got these in today. They're packed again, very much like a Winsor Newton Series 7. The little tubes here very similar. Those little rubbers. Let's see. It's got tip. We'll see how they go. I like them. You guys know me. I like getting new brushes. I do want to snap a quick photo though, for the Instagram. You guys know me, the Instagram. And what's up, Straight 10? How are you doing today? How are you doing today? If you guys aren't following, whoop. Straight 10 Gaming, popping over, hit that follow button, show some hobby love. And Snoofy, what's up, man? How are you doing today? Let's see. Okay, let me throw this up real quick, guys, and then we will get into what I worked on yesterday. There we go. Okay, make this post real fast. I hate my phone sometimes. I try to say let you guys, and it replaced guys with let you its. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Working and watching and working. Yep. Alright, posty post. Cool. Post is going up. Boom. Alright. Mouth's a little bit parched today. A little bit parched. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Alright. So, got these for checking out in the near future, but maybe sometime, maybe next week. I need to clean the starch off of them if I'm going to be using them, and I did not do that before the stream because I opened the package on the stream. So we will be working on our mechs for our lance today. I think this guy was pretty good on the blue, so we'll probably switch over and do the blue on the other two guys, and then once those are done, we'll start working on the details. That won't be today because the process is slow. So, but that said, yeah, might actually get some water. Thank you. I did get some forward progress in on hang on, sorry guys. Some forward progress in on these fellas here. So this is my motor pool. I didn't glue it down this time so that I could pop that off the base. Made detail or changes based on yesterday's talk on stream. Took the details off those panels because they looked dumb. Moved these forward a little bit so you could actually see them. Changed the X's. I forget if I did anything else. I think, oh yeah, I changed this little detail. So it's got like a little clamp. I thought it looked a little nicer, a little cooler. Adjusted that so that the angles matched that. It's a little different than this one. But yeah, I think this is pretty close to being in the done category. So this is our motor pool number 1. Here's our motor pool number 2. Or some type of utility building. I didn't want it to be just a copy-paste on both sides, so this side's got kind of more of an industrial, kind of human area, rooms, windows, whatever. Those would be little door. Yeah. So pretty happy with that. Pairs fine with the mix. Well, there we go. Yep. So moving around, doing a thing. Can't really do much on top. I guess you could stand there, I suppose. So maybe a hex there would have been helpful. I don't know. And then this one would have had, this one would have actually had part of a hex jutting out. So like where he's standing, this is where that would have been, which means that that one would have been there. So it would actually been like halfway, about like that. There would have been a lip here, like that half. Something about like this. Hey, Psycho, thank you for the like on Facebook. Appreciate that, man. I didn't like that, so I just cut it flush. It breaks the hex grid placement a little bit, but not too bad. You couldn't actually fit a mech there on the table anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then this should not be glued down. Yeah. So that one's a little loose. So should be able to reasonably get that, yeah, back in place. I wanted to leave the plate off so that if this was good enough, we could paint the thing and then spray this afterwards. Be a little easier though. If I'm honest, probably leaving those off would have been a good idea. But I wanted to make sure that assembly-wise, it could be assembled without gluing to the base. If it couldn't be, I wanted to adjust that. So that is building number 2. There's our 2 buildings. Yep. It's kind of neat. Alright. And then we've got building number 3. This is probably my favorite. I'm not sold on every aspect of it yet, but it's probably my favorite from this trio. So it's basically building number 2, but with extra jut out on it. And I really like the reinforcement coming down and interfacing here. One of the things that I really want to do, I don't have my pencil or my marker. Let's see if this will work. I want to take, it does, and I want to have an etch line here. That lines up with that buttress. Like that. And then I want that to come across here, because this lines up with really close, if not perfectly, with that buttress. So having that kind of interface. the sketch on the board or the thing is terrible, but that way it looks kind of like it goes up and comes over. I think that would be really cool. Could maybe even have like you know, this one come up and do something like kick out. To the side, so we get a cool etching on the top of that. I think that might be cool. And then I feel like the door's a little big, could be a smidge smaller maybe. I do need to come in and have the line, just a little etch line on this wall, come across to match that. I missed it when I replicated. But otherwise, right, I gotta have that line too. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. I think that looks really neat. I'm not as sold on this part being so open, but there's not a lot I could do without, like, to fill those hexes. I'd have to bulk the building up, and I wasn't really sure I wanted to do that because I wanted that profile. You know, and you know, anything I bulked up would take away from this and come out. And you know, if I want to do that, we're gonna have some weird shape. You know, so. I think that is probably going to be the way that it is. Though, we've been doing some cool, like, little tech greeblies Austin's been designing. And sorry if the music was a little loud there, guys. Like this one that's glued on. So maybe we'll have some freestanding thing that could go there. You know, like a pole or something, or a light. I don't know. Could be cool. But I'm very much so liking this building. It's, like I said, it's probably my favorite. Okay, it was on something. I wasn't letting it lay so flat. Mechs look pretty good on here. Yeah, I mean that kind of that part, that jutting out kind of messes things up a little bit, because there would normally be roughly something like that. There'd be a point coming out of that, and I made it go flat, but a mech wouldn't actually be able to stand flat there anyway. It would have been able to notch in here, but this is in the way, so maybe need to address that. Maybe. It's a fair point. I also need to cut a hole under that, save material and weight. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty neat. Pretty happy with it. Hopefully when these are all done, some of the Battletech guys will like them enough that they might want to pick some up. That'll be pretty cool. I really like it. It makes me excited. I like looking at it. I designed this when I was at work last night. Pretty neat little building. Cool. All right, so got through showcasing my Battletechs. Let's get into painting some models. I have a box of prototypes over here too. It's bananas. Box O prototypes. Okay. Paintbrushes. Oh, I also printed some stuff yesterday. I did some 3D printing. Clam Wolf mentioned that he was wanting to get a Phoenix Hawk, so I printed him one. Hang on, guys. Okay. So, anyways, I printed him a Phoenix Hawk. Those antennas are likely to break his shoulders guard it pretty well. But this is the one, the mech, not the exact mech, but the mech that he got or had me order from the Kickstarter. So I figured I would also print him one. So the Kickstarter one would probably look a little crisper, a little cleaner than the print. But in the meantime, this one's not too bad. Not too bad. So I printed him a Phoenix Hawk. And then I printed off some tanks. I have a few more of these printing at the shop, so I have 4. They were all supported the same way, and I got weird results. That one, support failure on the barrel, so it's rounded a little bit. And that's okay. Some of the guns failed here too. But it was really hard to support them because this is such a small scale. So, like, it's not the end of the world. I'll probably just lob that off and leave it. It's fine. And so, like, the front guns were fine. But this one, exact same supports. Its front guns were jacked. Its barrel was super jacked. It was like it was printed this way. And I printed this way so that I could support that barrel. Versus if I had them lifted this way, like that, with the supports coming up this way, the barrel ends up printing, but it doesn't have any support under it unless I attach it to the model. And when I've done that before, the supports or the barrels have warped or broken or failed to print. So I went this way so I could actually have supports come up and interface with the barrel. Sacrum, nice. I hope you have fun painting some I have fun painting those models. That's all I can say. I like their sculpts and they have some really cool stuff, but I do personally I'm Kingdom Deathed out. Mostly because the internet loses their mind over some of the sculpts, and I've seen them till I'm blue in the face, and I feel like it does them a disservice by that being the only type of model from their line that gets the attention that it gets. And because my feed for years has been bombarded with thick, half-naked women with goop on them, when we know what their innuendos for all of that is, I just stopped following them, personally. I'm not a prude, I just get really tired of seeing that shit, because it happens all the time. And I feel like, because that's the ones that get all the focus, it has cast a negative light on, or not a negative light, it's cast a shadow, I should say, on the rest of the line. When they first came out, years ago, there were several that were very, like, fantasy inspired. I remember a chick with, like, a crossbow that looked super cool, and I was like, I want that model. But you never see those. They exist. You can go seek them out, but the ones that are on social media are typically not those. At least what I see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that part, that's fine. Their models are fine. It's more the subject matter of the ones that people have chosen to focus on, and for obvious reasons, because whether it's clickbaity or that material Final Fantasy, that material sells, and people are into what they're into, and that's fine. It's just not for me. That's yep. Yeah, I mean, I hate trying to beat around the bush and try and sound super duper, positive, because I'm not trying to sling shade on them, because the models are great. It's just, if GW did pin up Space Marine females or Sisters of Battle, you'd see them all over the place, all day, every day. Everyone and their brother would paint one. You know what I mean? And GW's got great models, but at that point, I would just see, like, busty Saint Celestine in a bikini all over my social media feed for 6 months, and I would just be like, I'm tired of it. There are way cooler models in the line, but this is the one I see all the time, and then all of a sudden the other ones just don't exist. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully that comes across that way. It's the internet though, so who knows. Fabius Bile. And yes, new finger not wrong. Anyway, so back to the print. This one, same exact supports. The barrel and the end failed. The big barrel was fine, though. We lost a little detail on the underside. It's not the end of the world. It is pretty low scale, but, like, small scale, but like I am shocked at them with all of them having the same supports that I got 3 kind of different barrels. But whatever, I've got 3 more printing at the shop. I'll grab the ones that I think I probably got the most paintable prints and be done with it. These are from a Facebook group. A guy has been modeling 3D print files for Battletech because these don't exist. The models may exist. They may actually have a version of the sniper artillery tank. But he has been 3D designing his own count as his own proxy models. And I've been eating them up. He's put out a lot of tanks and artillery and stuff like that from based on the clicks. MechWarrior Dark Age, which is where I got introduced to Battletech for minis. And this one didn't fall. These had supports, but these are so small that those barrels broke or warped, and they pulled off the supports. I don't know exactly why, but it is what it is. I could run supports to the tank. I try not to support model to model if I can do it. Sacrum, I bet there's one out there, man. Especially because that's a PC game and people rip files from games and make prints all the time. MechWarrior Dark Age is not Dark Age. MechWarrior Online's a big one. This one, this design, the guy actually did it himself based on images. He made his own. MechWarrior Online, people just pull the files from the game and import them. Would do whatever they do to get them into the 3D programs. So that being a StarCraft thing, there's probably a 3D file somewhere, I bet. But anyway, Salty, yeah, I could have ran supports on the underside. I didn't think that would be an issue because it printed like this. And I thought with the supports here, that would have been good, and then it would have had enough meat to go. I'm not so worried about at this scale, the bottom being a little anemic. It could be more crisp, but I really don't mind it. I'm more worried about that. Because, like, those had the same supports. And I don't understand what made that one fail. I don't know, because they had the exact same supports. It's kind of weird. The 3 different tanks on the same plate with the same supports and 3 different results. So it's weird. But at this scale, it's not the end of the world. You know, it doesn't really matter, if I'm honest, as long as it looks good. So it bugs me, but like I'll trim this one up and it'll just have a slight ding in it. And then this one, maybe we'll just have a snub nose barrel, you know. It's like, even if it was just that barrel instead of that, like, it would probably be fine. Like, whatever. It's not the end of the world, you know. There are better prints that I've got. Like, those are rough. The stuff that's a little bigger prints a little better. So, like, this guy, he turned out pretty good. He did have a partial failure, too. His legs, this leg pulled away from the plate, so it was curled up a little bit, and it caused like this arm to shift in a little, and then actually you could see this one does have a support from model to model. I missed it. I'll cut it off. And the shift, it appears, has caused an issue with the back of this leg as well, but it's on an area that's not as visible, so it doesn't bug me too much. And we lost a little detail there. Like you can see, that one has a bit more detail than that. That doesn't have the crisp line in it, but at the angle that it is, you can't see it. So sometimes with 3D prints, for me, I just have to be willing to accept a certain quality of outcome, and if it's in a certain percentile, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's kind of where I'm at. These little vents were a little tough. I'm glad they mostly didn't fail. There's a little failure here where the support didn't hold it up, but it's not the end of the world. Again, once this is painted and dry brushed and all that, like it's not too bad. And considering this costs like 20 cents in resin or 50 cents or whatever it was, like not that bad. This model is on my my buy list though. This is a Werewolf from Battletech. I've got a list of mechs on a website that I want to procure, and this is one of them. He's a Dark Age era Clan Wolf mech, and he looks really, really cool to me. I really like these missiles. Like, it looks pretty dope. And then we printed a Wolfen also from the Dark Age era. We got a few little support stragglers on there. I've had a lot of fun 3D printing, and it is a lot of trial and error, unfortunately, but it is fun. It's fun just being able to print stuff. It's fun to see what's out there, what people have made. Like, his back is not too bad, but like it's really lacking details, very smooth, which sometimes happens with the 3D printed models, with the way they're angled. His back wasn't super detailed anyway, but like he had these vents that kind of rounded out. Again, my support's probably gonna be better on that. But for all intents and purposes, at this scale with his tiny little legs, it's not too bad. And if we get around to painting him up, like it's not the end of the world. This mech, the pewter one, is also on my buy list as well. So these are more stopgaps just to play around with the printing. We are using Cheetah Box, and then like this one. He printed pretty good. His back is a little rounded. We had a slight failure here. You can see where it's flat. I thought I supported that. The first one failed. This one failed again in the same spot. It's not the end of the world. Again, like once this guy's painted, you can still see some of the dimples from the supports. You could shave this stuff off. When it comes to the mechs, at least, these can also be nicks, dings, and scrapes, battle damage. So it's a lot of trial and error in playing, but he's not too bad for a 3D print. And then, so like this one though, this was from I Sip to Klein Wolf, and he painted it. Like, this print was really good. I mean, it's painted now, but like the back was a little bit rounded, but because of the way the details were, it worked. It was fine. But sometimes at this scale, the details get so small that any imperfection in the support system or whatnot, and it just starts to round and blend off. And it's the front sides are usually what I focus on, making sure you look good. This one looks overexposed, or this one looks overexposed. Like, you know, like overexposed to the light or overexposed to UV. I mean, it could be the camera, but he's gray. Oh, no, he's fine. There's a little bit of browning to him. I run them in there for 4 minutes, so he'll spin at 4 minutes this direction and then this direction to hit all the sides. You'll get a light, sometimes a little light browning. These guys were in there the same amount of time, and they did not get that. But once he's painted, he'll be fine. Yeah, but yeah, you can see there's a little hint of that. That happens to a lot of the stuff that I do. It just depends. I don't understand why some of them it impacts more than others. It's the same resin. Good catch on seeing the slight color difference, though. It is very faint there. But like these, they were baked for 4 minutes, so 2 minutes like this, and then 2 minutes. Actually, I probably started upside down and like this. I can't remember, but I usually bake it up and down. On a mech, it'll be standing or laying, and then I flip it, or whatever, to make sure all angles get baked reasonable. So they're in there for like 4 minutes total, 2 minutes on each side. Yeah, and see, like I printed this one angled down. So we got, if you can see it, we got really nice details right here. Like these little smoke canister launchers or something, or exhaust. It looks really, really nice. So it can do really good detail. But the front, where the supports were very rounded and smooth. Maybe I should have printed like this with supports and just did the best I could with the barrel. Because the bottom being smooth, no one gives a shit about. Yeah, that is likely why I was in a hurry to get out last night. It's likely why this guy's got a sheen to it. He might have still had a little wet resin or isopropyl on it. That might be what happened to him. It wasn't the most detailed file either, so it's got the right form and it'll look pretty good. There's a failure here too. I missed right there. Yep. Didn't even see that. I was super excited thinking I got it right this time. Saccharum, you got a picture for us? And Memoth, what's up, man? Ball bearings can be hit or miss depending on where you buy them. They could be sketchy and not actually stainless steel. That happens, or it'll be coated and then they'll rust. Yeah, and not to push Monument Hobbies on you, you can get any kind of ceramic or plastic bead or glass bead, but Monument Hobbies, which supports my stream, they do have these plastic agitators. I got a bunch. I just bought a pack. And if you happen to pick up anything from them, I've got a referral code here. And there's a coupon code. Yeah, Dragon says, I will push Monument freely, and they don't support me. Yeah, I'm not a shill. So if I'm going to push a product, it's because I like it. If I don't like something, which I was complaining yesterday about, getting used to how Pro Acryl handles with the style of painting I do in the wet palette. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just my critique of it because it's not what I'm used to. I do the same thing with Green Stuff World. There's some of their inks are great, and their ink washes I'm not as fond of. I don't like them that much. You know, it is what it is. But if I like something and I tell you I like it, it's true. I'm not like this company sent me brushes today to try out. If I don't like these, I'm going to tell you I don't like them. I want you to know I got these for free. I pay for my Monument stuff, but I got these for free. But if I don't like them, I'm telling you I don't like them. I'm not just going to be like, these are super good and they're the best because I sent it for free. Because my integrity is important. And if I start telling you stuff is good just because someone gives it to me and wants me to say it's good, then I'm doing you a disservice and I've sold out. And I will not do that. I'll burn a bridge for a potential sponsorship before I lie to you. It's not worth it. Because a sponsorship isn't worth it to me if I lie to you and then you guys don't trust my word anymore. You know what I mean? And even then, even if you trust my word, you may try a product out and still not like it like I do, and that's fine too. Everyone's got their own tastes. From my shepherd to your shepherd. Yeah, when I take a break today, we'll grab a treat. He gave me a look. I interpret it as give me your treat. Saccharum. Hang on a second. There is probably a ceramic bead or plastic bead or agitator or something you can get that is overseas as well. There you go, man. Oh. These aren't Monument Hobbies, but I know you can use this website. It's in your area, and it is less than £6 which for us is less than $10. Those are ceramic or plastic. What is this? Should be plastic. Yeah, they're not metal, so no, you don't have to worry about rust. And that's a big deal. People buy stainless steel ball bearings, and then they'll use them, and they'll find out they were coated, and the coating comes off, and then the paint gets rust in it, and it ruins the paint. There you go. If you want to be a real boss, tell Element Games that I sent you, and drop a link if you want. More sponsors for my stream would be good, especially stuff that I can point UK viewers to, since I can't help them with domestic stuff. It probably won't go anywhere, but I'm happy to push viewers towards Element or Wayland or both if they're in that area and it's more economical for them. So yeah, that would be awesome. Anyways, let's go ahead and oh, I thought we were actually on that screen. Do they actually have a sponsorship. There's an affiliate thing. Okay, yeah. They have an affiliate link that you can apply with. So yeah, I'll need to at some point just fill that out, and we'll see. Cool. Thank you. That's awesome, Salt. I also forgot that I left paint in here. Interesting. The question is it still going to be useful? It still looks reasonably useful. This is how I've taken to hydrating my wet palette. Alright. You know what? I don't trust these paints. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. We're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. I did a lot of mixing yesterday. We're gonna get a fresh thing on here and start over. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just a couple of dribbles of paint. I need to fill this back up. It is giving me a world of trouble just getting some squirts out. World ends. So, Mr. Java, I'm pretty excited about you picking up some Battletech stuff, man. Are you legitimately interested in the models, or the game, or both, or was it because you saw part of the live stream on Sunday and it looks fun? Like, what got you to jump in on that stuff? Cool. I like them. I think they're cool. I also feel like the game is pretty straightforward for Alpha Strike. Oh, see, that was classic. That was classic Battletech. That's a bit more of the kind of D&D style. Yeah. Yeah. Well, perhaps next time you'll, if you're free, you'll be able to participate. If you're not, life happens. Yeah, the Alpha Strike, which we did on stream, in person's a little faster. On stream we're slow because trying to wrangle people. But having a stat card that you keep track of things on is a lot different than a big giant character sheet, which was cool. Or it can be cool, but in both regards, depends on what you're wanting to do. I like Alpha Strike because fielding, it's faster and it's simple. Like, simple is the big deal, really. But also you can field a lot more mechs, or play at a larger scale than you can the classic at that speed. If you were fielding for a lance of battle mechs in classic, and you know, if you have a mission parameter objective, it may go a little different. But if you're just playing smashy, blow each other up, that's going to be a long game. MechWarrior Online? Or Harebrained Schemes, Battletech, the turn-based. Both of them are on Steam now. Okay, Harebrained Schemes, yep. That one's really good. It's been on sale quite a few times as well. Well, enjoy your meeting, Java. Thanks for chatting with me. Hey, Dragon, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. I got an emote. That's pretty cool. That's a Among Us emote there. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's update our subscriber goal for the month. That puts us at, I think that's number 20. Yep, that was number 20. 20 subs for December. Thank you. Let's update our bot here. Timers. Boop, boop. Thank you. And we didn't get, I don't know if Mamoff ever chimed in and said anything else. Mamoff, what you doing, man? How you doing? I'm going to have to order some more matte, or glazed medium here. I use this a lot. I guess there was not a drip in front of that one. There we go. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I think yesterday you were asking about those street bases for Battletech too. What's going on with my stream? This is weird. I'm not doing shit, and my stream is showing a lot of viewers. That's weird. Anyway, A, if you buy anything, don't forget your coupon code. B, drop a note and be like, hey, just mention those bases and say Justin said he'd get you some samples, and I'll cut you some tonight if that's what you order. Yeah, it's showing 63 for me, which is really odd. What is that? Oh, paint flake. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I was sitting here because I was talking to you and was looking at the screen, and I saw this, and I'm like, what is going on? It's quite odd. I thought, like, I missed a raid or something. I hear you, pup. I hear you back there. There we go. That looks about more normal. I just watched it. It's showing 28 now. It's still a little high for us lately, but that one is a bit more realistic. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. It's probably one of those best not to stress over it too much, but given our ups and downs on the stream of the last 6 months, can't help but notice. It's been a little quiet here lately. And traditionally, in years past, December's been a pretty popular month for the stream. People engaging, talking, hanging out. And this year, not so much. Been a little bit quiet. Our live stream game though was pretty good. That was we were averaging like 30 people almost the whole time, which was really nice, unexpected, pretty awesome. Oh, Saul, you're fine. You're fine. I'm not. I don't say that because I'm trying to like browbeat anybody. It's more of just an observation of things. And there's plenty of shows and podcasts and content to consume. I get it. And honestly, my streams it's about the same thing every day. I get on here, I paint, I ramble, I show you guys what I'm working on, and talk to you. It's really just a kind of a hobby hangout of sorts. Though I'm hoping next year we can build it into a little bit more than that. I'm hoping to be doing more live streamed games, tabletop games. I want that to be a goal. I want us to get there and achieve it, and I want to do more interactive stuff with you guys on that front, with you guys helping play games and engage. Some of you maybe even painting some models to be on the stream. Like that kind of thing is where I want to be. I'm debating oh, okay. I feel like that whole leg maybe should be blue. And maybe we do cuz he's so small, maybe we do like or at least have the stripe on the torso as well. I feel like his leg was so small that we really weren't gonna get a whole lot of the gold when we get to that stripe, so doing it this way, we at least will. and then we need to come down here and... Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, well, I appreciate that, man. You guys are my painting buddies as well. I almost never paint when I'm not on Twitch. Yeah, it was telling me that there's somebody who wants to, like, join my Facebook group, and don't know this person. Didn't answer the question, looks kind of spammy, so negatory. Alright, so now we gotta figure out where we want stripe on Big Boy here. I think he's got enough meat going on that we could do the half leg stripe. Hey, Memoff, that's awesome, man. You'll have to let us know how it goes. I was talking to Austin. We did not get the the like $280 one. We got the $250 or so, the step below, because I think you were saying on this one there, you know, it was new and the settings weren't as widespread, so you're gonna have to do some learning on your own and whatnot. And I was talking to Austin about it, and I think that he told me we did not get that one. So we've got the step right before it. So yeah, you'll have to let us know how you like it, because I think you said this one prints way faster than the other one. It's like 2 or 3 times as fast. I think that's what you were saying. Well, I'll be curious to see what you come up with, man. What kind of stuff you start printing. It is, it's a bit of an addiction, that's for sure. I think most people I know that got into printing feel that way. Hmm. That's no bueno. And I totally forgot. Today is the day that the freight comes to pick up Slow Fuse's paint racks and such that we did. So that's exciting too. And from what I had seen commented in the stream the other day, they are out of stock on the bases, the base block, the foundation dealio. So it'd be nice to help them get stocked back up. My biggest issue with 3D printing for me is less about the cost and more about me getting a quick and easy way to get even more minis that I definitely won't have time to paint. I do think it's the future, though. I think, and there's companies already doing it, that have games that use 3D printed models, and you can just print the models and buy the rules, or vice versa. You know, buy the files, print them for your game. That's a thing. One of the guys that Austin supports on Patreon, who we get files from just for printing in house and doing fun things with photography and whatnot. Every time a new file comes out for them, there's like rules and stuff for those units in their game, which we don't play, but some kind of like cyberpunk kind of game. Models look really cool. I forget the name of the Patreon, but it's very kind of Necromunda vibe. I think the first month that he backed them, a lot of the stuff had a very Mad Max vibe for that month. But in general, it's like post-apocalyptic cyberpunk kind of vibe. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, Mammoth, I feel like our odor issue, while we could smell a resin, our isopropyl alcohol is the stinky culprit. Just throw my paintbrush on the floor. You guys know how we do. Sorry, I was sending Austin a message. Yo, Thunderhead, what's up, man? How you doing? I saw you were working on the, what's it, Masakari, the Inner Sphere's attempt to make a Timberwolf. I saw you post that up yesterday. Saw your Instagram picture. How'd that transpire, man? I'm trying to up my my paint quality, but you and old Mr. Steiner kill it, man. I don't have a lot of experience painting battle mechs, but I'm trying. You guys inspire me to try new stuff, and I'm pretty excited to see your future model designs too. I'm getting a little bit better with our 3D printer, and did you see the no, never mind, that wasn't your mini. Duh. I've got to paint you a mini. I got so many Warhammers laying around. I was about to be like, did you see your mini? Like, bud, that's a Stratos miniature mini. Get your facts right, and I'd be like, yeah, you right. I'm dumb. Had a little oopsie doopsie there. But I've got one of your Shadowhawks, one of your Griffins, and one of your Warhammers in my box. So current paint shame that needs to be addressed. Rakshasa, yeah. Oh, thank you. I like how it turned out. I want to paint yours. I really want to get a better print on it. The thing that I didn't like so much on the Stratos one, it was a nice model, but the resin was a little weird. And I could see a lot of the striations in it. And I would really like to have on yours. I don't feel like I saw that. You know, also that's an older Stratos model that I have. They may be better now. I don't know. And it's me being nitpicky. But the back of the definitely not Warhammer that I got from your file. I gotta support it better. The back is the details a little bit washed out. It's very rounded from the supports in the print, and it's like I gotta fix it, because if I'm gonna put the effort into that I put into these minis and the Stratos one, I want it to be on a model that I'm 100% happy with the print quality on. You know what I mean? But I don't know what was up with that one. It came out not bad, but not the best. Your Griffin that I printed in Shadowhawk were pretty damn good, but I think that's because the backs of them, they were a little bit more boxy and blocky, so the print was a little easier on them. I don't know. But yeah, my end goal for these mechs here is to look kind of like that. That's where I'm going. It just, as Sam Lins would say, it's going to look not good until it looks good or something. Yeah, they printed really nice. I got the scale a little bit wrong. Call that the threshold. Yeah. Yep. I feel like most of the time with me, I don't see the finish line until I'm like right there. It's like, I feel like it's super daunting until I'm like, oh hey, this last edge highlight, and oh hey, the model's done. That's what it feels like for me. Is that Rakshasa a model, a file that you created, or is that one from the 3D group? And also, I gave Thunderhead a shout out here, but I don't think I verbally said it. If you guys aren't following the fantastic and awesome, super talented, in a variety of ways, Mr. Thunderhead Studios, popping over, hit that follow button, show some hobby love. If you like Battletech, you will not be disappointed. He paints other stuff too, but he's super good at that as well. He painted a Marvel Crisis Protocol Ultron recently that was really slick. And then he had, what was it? MODOK, I think he did, which was super dope recently. So he's a pretty talented guy, but I have an affinity for his Battletech because it's close to my heart. And he does some 3D design stuff that he has some free files out there, and also has some for sale files over at Steel Warrior Studios in Canada. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see another Atlas II Dragon, and a lot of the 3D print ones that I've tried, they just don't look that great. Very nice, Thunderhead. Nice. Yeah, the skin tones on them are really good. Oh, dude. Anytime. Anytime. I still, I've got to get it primed. Your, dropship that you sent me is out there with my Battletech stuff, but I paint so damn slow, man. Now, I know we talked about this before, and you've totally mentioned there's plenty of room for, you know, people in the industry to do stuff. Whoop. knock my Irby over into my Hunchback. And I know you do these out of 3D, but I'll show you what I've been working on as well. And why I'm really excited. Sorry, I had to stretch. Whew. Why I'm excited to get your dropship done. I know you've seen some of this before, but I'll show you what I've been working on. I think you saw my mech base. Like I said, I know you make stuff like this out of FDM prints and 3D files, but I'm working on some MDF stuff for DRD to sell. And this is all new to me, so this is one of my motor pools or industrial buildings. Yeah, just so I don't have to paint them. That's funny. Alright, so that's one of them. Here's the other one. Hang on, I gotta show Austin this real quick. Alright. I saw the new mech base, looked very cool. It's wonderful seeing more hex terrain popping up. There was honestly a bizarre lack of them before, so yep. Oh, I type pretty quick. It's not always accurate, but I type quick. Oh, man. Raise his glasses. And I just troll it away. I still had a bunch of typos. You can hear me clicking backspace as I typoed. And it's probably still grammatically bad. It says, Thunderhead Studios is the bestest painter in all the land, for he designs his stuff and paints with his own 2 hands. Fear him, for he will soothe you with his sultry voice while painting away on his big old BattleBot toys. That shit's funny. That is funny. Oh, man. Somebody clip it. That is stupid funny. Like, I feel like I just made some kind of Christmas song. Oh. That's how you can tell a true typist. The backspace barely breaks stride. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, here's the number 2. You were showing off your typing skills, but the really impressive part is the right. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Oh, man. I like saying goofy shit. I mean, most people in stream are aware that I do some painting, but mostly talking. But this is my favorite of the designs I worked up last night, and you can tell I'm just taking parts and repositioning. But I was really happy because first try I got this to line up and latch onto that, and I've got a couple different entrances, more of a big service entrance door for like a vehicle, more of a human kind of entrance, and then more of like a utility entrance, smaller stuff, not big tanks, but small industrial door. I think it's cool. It's probably my favorite of this 3. Yep. And we got one of Austin's 3D design elements on there too. They're pretty cool. And I tell you, I know I know you're doing 3D stuff, but if you ever want to try your hand at doing some MDF designs, we use a program called Inkscape, and it's free. If you ever want to try stuff, I'd be happy to cut your prototypes for you and show them to you, or we could cut some and ship them out to you. We're always looking to collab with somebody or help out and do stuff. Again, I know it's not 3D print, but if you want to try a different medium, we're happy to work with you. Also, if you're interested in checking out some of our 3D terrain, or not 3D terrain, our MDF terrain from Hex City, toss me a message and remind me. I'll get you set up with a store credit so you can pick one up for free, minus the shipping, because it'll be in our system, and that's just the way it'll be because it's easier. So if you are interested, we'll send you some. I know that you do your own 3D stuff, so if you're not interested, that's fine. But if you are and you want to check out what we're doing, or even maybe paint some up, that's up to you. No pressure. We'll be happy to hook you up. Trying to get people aware, it's very hard. People know we do 40K. A lot of people don't know we do Infinity or Fantasy or now Battletech. They know us for 40K, so trying hard to get out there, so it really helps. I came to make some laser cut stuff a few years back. Definitely need to practice. I started this stuff a month ago. See if I still got it sitting here. Oh, I just rolled over my cable. Let's see here. Seeing if I got my first building. Oh, there it is. So, this is a month ago. Alright, gents, I take off for a meeting. Take it easy, Dragon. Thank you for hanging out today, man. Hope your meeting goes well. So this was a month ago. This was proof of concept for me to make a building. That's one of the mech bays, and that turned into a variety of different stuff. Here's one of the iterations of it. So, in a short period of time, I went from that to that. For mech bay, it's a little hard to see because it's black, but that is where we are for that. Yep, and then, you know, now I'm working on, so I'm trying to make a full set. So that was the mech base. These are more like the motor pools and industrial tech areas for tanks and vehicles and infantry and stuff. So in a month, this is where I got to. And I am an idiot. And you've done a lot of design work with 3D stuff, which doesn't translate one-to-one, but you have an eye for how things are going to build and go together, especially with like your dropship. Like, you know how to interact and click your parts together. I think this, once you learn the stuff, a little bit of practice, you would have no problem. There's certain things you can't do with it detail-wise, like you can with a 3D printer, but there's some benefits to this, and it's cheap. The other thing that we're trying to do is to bridge the gap between MDF, produce parts that out of MDF that it does well, and then use 3D printed stuff to go with it to keep the costs down, and marry it with the cheaper material and cut time of the MDF, because it cuts really quick compared to printing or resin casting. So, like I said, I know this is a bit of a plug here, but if you're interested, we'll send you some. And if you've got some designs you want us to cut, we'll be happy to cut them for you, and send you photos, send you pieces, whatever, or collab with you. That would be fantastic. Working with somebody on this stuff. Austin loves it. With our Hex City stuff, that was actually a collab with Blacksite Studios, and that was the first time doing anything Battletech. They usually do kind of apocalyptic, modern, sci-fi stuff. And there were some Discord calls and Hangouts with Austin, and we designed some stuff. They designed some stuff. We came together and worked it out. So if there's ever anything you want to do, or want to have a Discord hangout, design some stuff, ask some questions, maybe pick Austin's brain about MDF designing, and he could pick your brain a little bit about 3D stuff and how you approach some of your interlocking pieces and stuff, like kind of a think tank session, that would be great. We're always looking for that, and I don't bring a lot to the table to engage with Austin because I'm an idiot with this stuff. And I think you've got some expertise that would be really cool to have you guys talking about. So again, no pressure, but if you're interested at all, get with me and I can make that happen. And we would love to work with you. I got a pile of freaking prototypes over there. Yep. We've got a cool one at the shop where Austin 3D printed a resin piece. Now this is going to be really stupid looking, but he made an industrial tech building. It's on a hex plate, obviously, but It's got like the front bay. So this and the front side of it would look kind of like that's really terrible looking, but he's got, you know, these like, it looks like a bay door type thing, right? That's really bad. It looks like a bay door. It's sketch time. I'm going to be doing some design work for Talon Games, though, through January. I think if everyone going to be working on Trinity City streets for a larger scale, but from a sheer artistic point of view, I'd love to work with you guys. Going to be a long year. Yeah, man. Like I said, no pressure. Even if it's less about like collab to make something and sell, if it's just you want to pick someone's brain, bounce ideas, chat, you know, we're up for it. Not even just about the business stuff, just Austin having peers to engage with, to talk about the design process and new ideas, and think tank is really good. And I don't bring that to the table, and he wants some interaction. So anyway, the front is what it would look like there. That's really terrible, but he's got a box kind of like that. He's got a side jut out that's kind of like that. He's got some like tech panel lines and whatnot on it. And then the top comes up, and I think it does something like this. And then he's got these smokestack pipes that come out of it. It might have been 3. But something like that. And then he's got this piece he designed. It was a resin piece, and it was like this. And the way he designed it, it allowed us to get an interesting curve in the material that we normally can't do with MDF. So it was proof of concept for doing a corner joint to manipulate the angle of the MDF and get that nice curve. Like with MDF, you can't do. With 2 pieces, they meet, and it'll be like that, or they'll overlap. You can cut MDF flat in a circle, but getting 2 pieces to join, you can't bevel it. Yep, and then we did another one where if you take this part and you cut it off, he changed it, and we used a different type of material, and it's a full-on curve like that. And then he put ridges on it with MDF, so it was a full-on curve, right? Like that, and then, you know, tech panels or whatever here. And then from the front side, it looked like this. And he had little caps that came over it that were curved. So those caps were shaped kind of like this as well, but they look like this. They look like gears. And they encapsulated this. So I guess I could have drew the gears over here, right? Yeah, that's terrible. But he had 2 of those, or 3 of them, whatever. So we got this interesting curve that we normally can't do with MDF, but he got it out of material. So it was a big flat curve, or rounded curve rather. And then those caps. So you had this industrial thing. So if you replace that with this, we had 2 different options: one with resin, one with not. And he had this cool cap thing. And he designed this thing in like an hour. He had this cool building. It's on a hex plate and everything, and it juts out. It looks super dope. It's like a cool industrial factory thing. He did this in like an hour, and I was like, I've been working for a month, and I've designed some shiny boxes, and you shit out this awesome looking thing in an hour as a prototype. It's ridiculous. Googly eyes in the building? Like up here? He looks like he's like a rapper now. But yeah, that's terrible. If I think about it, I'll take a picture of it at the shop. But we do have got some cool stuff. Yeah, he's just like, yo, 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 time for the Battletech show. Oh, yeah, Clown Wolf, that would be cool. Talk about my Mando. I told Austin I want to set a finish date for Mando to be done by May, and I want to have in April, our donation goal will be to have me dress up as Mando in May to play a game of Star Wars Legion on stream, and if I can schedule it for May the 4th, that would be dope. I'm alone with Blunder again. Yep. And what's up, Clan Wolf? I typed up a funny thing earlier because Thunderhead was giving me shit about my typing, and I said, Thunderhead Studios is the bestest painter in all the land, for he designs his stuff and paints with his own 2 hands. Fear him for... excuse me, my mouse is over it. Fear him, for he will soothe you with his sultry voice whilst painting away on his big old BattleBot toys. It sounds like some kind of Christmas themed book. It was. I was channeling a little bit. It was I probably was better the first time around. But it was still very entertaining for me. Very entertaining for me. Cracked me right up. And on that note, Mr. Clan Wolf, how you doing today? How you doing today, man? Oh. I will have a canon character in the Battletech universe. That is going to happen. That may not be what we're talking about, but it's going to happen. The stream funded the expansion of it, and I had backed the Kickstarter for the initial, and we got all the tick boxes checked for maximum opportunity for cool character in the canon. I was tickled pink when the stream did that for me. It's quite awesome. Also, it helps that I offered to dress up as a reindeer, or in a reindeer onesie, and do a live stream game and look like an idiot in exchange, which is exactly what happened. On Sunday, I looked like a moron. But it was fun. Clown Wolf, did you see the mech I printed you? It's not the best print in the world, but I did print you something. Okay. If you don't chime in, I usually assume you're at work. Because you usually bust in like the Kool-Aid man. Hey guys, Clan Wolf has arrived. It probably won't look as good as the plastic one, but you'll have 2. I forget the exact paint process, but it is Pro Acryl. I believe I primed it with Stynylrez Black, and then I sprayed over it with I think it was probably dark neutral gray, and then maybe a little bit of dark warm gray, or it might have been a little bit faintly mixed with bright neutral gray, mixed together, something like that. Basically a quick transition over the top. I don't think I used blue-black on those. I don't think I did. I might have sprayed a little blue-black. It might have been blue-black over the black, and then a mix of the gray over the top. Yeah. We've discussed that before, too, because I can't remember shit. Yeah. I really don't think I did blue-black, though. I might have. Yeah. So I think it was primed black with Stynylrez. I think I sprayed blue-black, and then I took... it was probably... I feel like it was dark natural gray, And I think I mixed like 2 parts of that to 1 part that, something like that. It's a very, very light mix just to get it lighter. And then I sprayed kind of towards the front and down. It's very faint. And then I did the same thing on these guys. And then for speed purposes, I did a dry brush. Welcome back, Snoofy. I did a dry brush with Longbeard Gray. I would normally edge highlight these, but I was trying to go for speed. I say that, and I dry brush these damn models, and then I turn around and I do this, which is the complete opposite of speed. But I dry brushed Longbeard Gray, and then I took Tenebrous Blue, 1 drop Tenebrous Blue to where is it at? Probably, is it on my discard? Yep. I can't see it, but 1 drop Tenebrous Blue to 4 or 5 drops of Opulentus Black. It's just faded off from Green Stuff World ink. Mostly to your liking. If you go 4 drops black, you get a little bit more of the blue. If you go 5, you get a little more of the black. And then I thin that down with a little bit of water or medium, glazed medium, whatever, and basically went over the whole model to pull it together, and because it was a little bit bright on the gray, and that pulls it together, you get a really, really faint hint of blue. And then I just went back over with a quick dry brush of the Longbeard Gray 1 more time to hit the high points. That's why we got these more faint areas here and the more brighter ones here. If I had done manual edge highlights, these would be more crisp, but this is a speedy way to do it. So it can yield amazing results. They're just not, for me, they're not as crisp as edge highlights. These guys are great examples of where dry brush excels, though, because they got really nice hard edges where the dry brush can really hit. Like, that's pretty convenient. Yeah, those Green Stuff World inks are a lifesaver. They've done a lot to help out with speed for me. I want to say speed. Dry brush for speed. They've done a lot to give me color options and tinting. So I really should write down that black, if for any other reason than the fact that I used it on these guys. And I think the main difference on these is I sprayed coal black from Proacryl on them, and that is a bit more on the gray side, but it's very similar. This was not dry brushed, this was edge highlighted. Yep, should really write that shit down. I feel like I wrote down... Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! I did write down my mix. I don't have the mix for the gray and the black. I have not. I haven't used a whole lot of P3, if I'm honest with you. So this was my actual mix. I wrote this down. I just didn't write down the black because I'm an idiot. So it is 5-to-1, black to blue, but I do 10-to-2. And then, so 10-to-2, 10 black, 2 blue. So Opulence Black, Tenebrous Blue. 2 parts Flow Improver to that mix. 3 parts Glaze Medium from Vallejo. 3 parts actual just straight up medium, and 2 water. And you get this nice, I don't know why, I mean, I probably could have skipped this medium, just put more glaze. I don't know. I was just playing around. I feel like I saw you mention that on stream or on Instagram somewhere. I feel like I've heard you say this or read you say this. I might actually have it. I'll have to look. I might have it. Handley from the stream sent me some P3 earlier this year. But yeah, if you're looking for the tinting, this is what I used. I did write that down because I knew I'd want to know that later. Just can't write down anything else. Here's some of the goofy stuff that I've drawn. There's the giraffe. Let's see if I wrote down any of my other shit. Java. I forgot to drew that Java Suco Java 2000 at work. Angry. Yeah, so I did not write down the black, but I did write down the mix because for the tint, because that's smart. What's up, Focus? Hey, man. How you doing, man? Yeah, that's why my stuff has a slight tint difference to it every time I paint. And I forget who it was. Somebody posted that they would beat a baby giraffe with a foam pool noodle for something. So I drew that giraffe with being hit by a pool noodle. All right, man. Enjoy the dog walkage. And in that Java photo or sketch, I just imagine like Johnny Mnemonic, if you guys have seen that, and he's got like his like talons to attack people through the internet. He's just mad at his IT people that he's stuck with who aren't particularly proficient at their jobs. He's just like, I'm gonna get you, man. And he's got his Javatron 2000 helmet on, and his little kid gloves are off on the internet. I don't know, Nintendo Power Glove things or whatever, and he's just blasting noobs. It's like 20 degrees out, so definitely won't. I literally just watched Johnny Mnemonic and prep for Cyberpunk TT camp or Tabletop Campaign. I want room service. Yep, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. That's VHS era stuff right there. Okay. Trash can with guns. Oh man. Hey, Nomadic Chris! It is a big brush. It is a big brush. If you guys are not following the great and fantastic Mr. Nomadic Chris, why is my player goes, make sure you hit that follow button, show some hobby love, let them know who sent you. Pop on over and give the painting Gandalf some love, especially on that Instagram too. How you doing, man? And yep, big old brush. Trying new stuff. New stuff. It's not my strong suit by any means, but I'm trying. I'm trying to go faster blending here because I want to get through these mechs sometime this century. But I fear that it's not going to go the way I want it to go. Do you want to share a picture of what you're working on? Always want to share. Yo, yo, yo. Wrapping up the blended base coat, and I decided to indulge a bit of the NMM on the axe. Super early everywhere, but but I like the skin tones. Skin tones look great, man. And that axe is looking really good. What are you worried about on it? I'm getting a very like warm gold vibe. Digging those skin tones. That's really slick. But yeah, what highlights are you stressing about or worried about? Or what's got you bogged down? What are you thinking? What's the dealio? Would you like my opinion? And bearing in mind, I'm not super good at non-metallic metal, but I could tell you, I could share with you what I see and what I think. It just may not be the best advice. If you do not care, then I will not be offended, because there are artists who know more than I do, and that is a fact. Yeah. Well, he said, I think one brighter on the yellow with some off-white added in will get the glints correct, but I know if I touch it, I'll jam it up. Stop being worried about it and paint your model, because you paint good and you're learning. And as I say, don't let fear dictate what you do. But see if I can zoom in here. Oh, we're gonna have to take a break now and go get the treats for the dog. So I like your transition here. I think I was gonna say to the effect of the bright yellow, almost white, hitting a little bit right here, maybe just a smidge across that, and a little bit there, a little bit here, and a little bit here, just a little. And then if you really want to push it, just a tiny fade into white on the edge, and a tiny bit there where the light kind of peaks. So I think that would work good, and having that, I feel like if you push too much of the bright, like if you go from dark to medium to light to really light to really light, it might work, but I feel like if you get that transition too close, if that makes this too close, I feel like you're going to lose some of the contrast in my brain. I could be wrong, but in my brain. I think you've got a nice transition here, and going into that sharp brightness, you'll have dark, medium, light, bright. And I think that'll be good. If you blend it too much, again, it might work. I'm an idiot, but I think right now you're in the right place when you were talking about, I agree, Cake. When you're talking about adding a brighter yellow and some off-white, I think you're in the right place. That's exactly what I was going to say. That bright white, or excuse me, bright yellow right in here with a little fade in those areas. And then if you really want to push it, just almost into white right on the edge where the sun or the light or the reflection is hitting. I think that would be good. Yeah. So, but otherwise, like, I think you're on the right track. I think your transitions on the green are good. I've seen you working on this on a few other models doing that green. I think your skin tones look great. I think you know what you want to do on the axe, and I think you're allowing yourself to be defeated because you're worried about ruining something you've got. Like, you're in a good place and you want to make it better, and I feel like you're afraid that if you try and make it better, you're going to make it worse and you're going to ruin all that effort. And that is categorically the opposite of how Nomadic Chris Adams functions here. This man paints stuff, tries stuff when I don't do stuff. So, not that you need to compare yourself to me, but I let me be the scaredy cat. You do you and practice doing new stuff, because that's what I appreciate most about you, man. You always doing new stuff. I personally like this transition. You could go a little darker if you wanted to. I like this myself. I think I would probably play with I would probably do the bright spot first, since you've got that transition, and see how you feel. And then if it's still not popping, you can go the opposite direction and push that shadow, which will give you the transition and the gradient. If it's too close, if you're like, okay, the bright looks good, but the dark's not dark enough, cool. I think, because I like where you're at, I think doing the highlight and getting that done and seeing how you feel will give you a better feeling on what you want to do on the shadow, personally. Exactly. So, like, Thunderhead's talking about that too. If you're gonna, he's saying if you do the super highlight, the shadow will look deeper anyway, and that's what I was basically talking about. Like, if you do the shadow first, then do the highlight, you may find that it's driving it the contrast a bit more than you want. Whereas if you know you want that bright highlight first, and you do that, and then you're like, okay, I want the dark now, then you can add it. It's hard to go back and take something off. But I think the consensus is you probably want that bright highlight anyway. So do that first, see how you feel, then come back and reassess the shadow, which it will be there waiting if you decide you want to do it. That's me. I think that's the best course of action, is to do that highlight first and then reassess. I think, as Thunderhead's kind of talking about here, if you do the shadow first and then you do the highlight, it's going to exacerbate it more. So starting with one and then feeling how you might want to do the other might work. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, and I agree with the Cake. And what's up, Dagoon? How you doing? So get that back to 100% there. And I appreciate the chat, Thunderhead, and giving some feedback as well. And Nomadic Chris, I hope that it helps. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I can tell you what I like and what I think. Me being able to execute, it's a different story. So yeah. Anyways, that said, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to empty the bladder, and we'll grab a couple of treats for the dog, and we'll come back and we'll pick up with this conversation. If I don't get the treats now, I fear that it won't happen and I'll forget. So let me do this, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And Nomadic, I think you are a fantastic artist, and it shows, man. I think one of the things that we all struggle with is perfection and what we want to pursue. And okay, I got your treat here. This one's from Thunderhead. Say thank you, thank you. I think we all go through that, and man, I had words there, and then I fed the dog. She got excited. I think it is natural for us to worry about our progression and how well we're doing and our perfection. And I think if we get to a point where we were 100% confident, we might come off as arrogant. And I think that being hungry to improve and always do better is what makes us good artists. So, and I get that vibe from you all the time. So, And as Thunderhead said, your stuff is already smooth. Let's see. We got... oh, I'm sorry for bias. I didn't see that. I think that came through at the same time Thunderhead typed something, and I thought that was from him. Sorry. That was from For Bias. He said, have a treat. And guess what? You got another one. You got another one. No, you can't have that one. You can have this one. You can have this one. This one's from Snoopy. This one's from Snoopy. Nom, nom. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, no. I got it. I got it. There you go. You got 2 treaties. 2 treaties. Jake from State Farm. Is that good? Was that good? Does somebody want to get one more for you before we go? Say, tell them. Where are you going? She's... Yeah.
Can I talk to you for just 1 minute?
I mean, they'll hear you.
I don't care. This much water, will you put in that plant beside the Christmas tree Friday?
Okay.
Please.
Yep.
If it goes up a little bit, that's fine. It's sucking the... heat's drying it out really fast.
Okay.
And I'm going to come home to a dead flower.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, so we are back. Dog treat. Love the composition of your color palette, Kickfist. For this, I think the next logical progression is to add dark lining step, effectively bringing the different parts of your model into focus. You do better as he can talk, and I'm stuck talking. She does. She does. Okay. Let's see. We need to improve the rest of this guy. Oh, and now he redeems another one. I mean, I like it. I don't know what you got going on with the like pitted areas. It's almost purple looking. That's an interesting take. I think Thunderhead's probably right with blotchy. I don't do a lot of full-on painted rust. I just do like rust effects. But yeah, it's kind of flaky and blotchy, and I think this looks cool. You could just have other layers of reds and oranges on there to give the kind of flaky look. The blotchy texture he's going for. How to execute it, not exactly sure. You might use a sponge or a brush dabbing some stuff. And then what was Nomadic talking about? Dark lining, so like black lining. Yeah, I'll defer to Nomadic on that. Like on the when I do black lining, which is rare, it's usually like at a panel or a spot where there's a crease on the blade. I feel like down near the hilt there might be a spot you could do that on. But for me, I'm not sure if anything else jumps out in my brain. But they might know something. I know they have to type, but they may have some other advice. Yeah. Yeah, those look slick, man. Yeah, Dagoon, I saw those. I don't remember if you were playing or if they were just out on your table, but that was pretty dope. And yeah, let's see here. Cake. I think, these look great. And I really like how vibrant it is, and especially right here on the chains. For yours, because you've already got this down, you could go into the darker areas and apply some more darker orange or red, or go really, really bright for the contrast. It depends on if you're wanting a full, like, just a straight up rusted blade or rusted areas on the blade. Depends on how intense you want it to get. Or you could just leave it as is and move on. It depends on what your what your plan is for this model. Is this a display piece, a competition piece, or is this, you know, just a model and a sea of models that all look the same? If this is... oh, that's fine, Nomadic. I thought you might have been, and I wasn't sure. You could even come in and kind of like what Thunderhead's done here. You got some goo and stuff in areas. You could, if this is going to be Nurgle, you could even have some like green goo dripping off of the blade, and that'll contrast well with the rust and still feel like a rusty, nasty, plague-ridden blade. Could be cool. And I agree to what Thunderhead said there. It's kind of what I was getting at. Finishing a model, moving on, and trying new techniques on a new model, and not getting bogged down so long on one. But also, if you have a whole army of these types of guys to paint, and this one is not anyone special, he's not a character, he might be, I'm not familiar with the model, and you have to do a whole bunch of them, this looks great already. Finish up the details you want, base them, and be done. If you do specifically want this to be a high detail piece, then you can use these things. For something that, if this is meant to be a game piece that you're going to play with a lot, I already think it looks good. There's a few areas that I feel like you're probably going to adjust and clean up, but like if that was on the table at the shop and the base was finished up, it would look great. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And we'll get the dog in for a last treat, and I'll get into the painting before we leave today. Bella, 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 Bella. You gonna come here? You came a running. She came a running. You called me? Did you call me, Justin? Did you call me? No matter. Chris brought you a treat. She said, I came and I want it. I want it. Give me that treat. No. Just get it. Oh, I got it. I got my treat. Yum. What?
Look at her hair. She's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Get hair everywhere. You treat all over the floor.
One more thing before I go. If any of the presents come tomorrow, bring them with you Friday, please.
Okay.
And if you check the mail and I have a check in there, bring it with you.
Okay.
What else was I gonna tell you? I left the radio in my bedroom on for Mark.
Okay.
And I left the Christmas trees on, so she wouldn't be totally in the dark.
Okay.
And I'm feeding her before I leave, so she's good today.
Okay.
And I guess that's all. Can't think of anything else. Just bring presents if anyone come in.
Okay.
Alright, and you be careful.
I will. You too. I love you.
Love you too.
People in the stream said hi.
Hi.
What's up, Daff?
There's nothing else on the porch.
Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to try and get back into doing a little bit of work here on old trash can. That looks a lot better. That's funny. Oh man, bringing it full circle. That's an old picture. That's an old picture from old Nomadic there. That was some back in the day stuff.
was chosen.
Hey, Zarvrin, thank you. I appreciate that, man. How you doing? Yep, I feel you on that one, man. I feel you. Thank you again for that sub, man. I appreciate it. That puts us at, I think, 21 for the month. 21 subs. So thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's see. 21. Yep. I hope that your holiday festivities are going to go well. Whatever it is that you get into. Yeah. Could all use some wins here as we end the year. Getting a little happy hobby time in, happy family time in, holiday stuff, whatever it is you get into. Being happy end of the year is good. Hopefully 2021 will be a little bit better. I'm assuming it's going to start off and just kind of continue being more of the same, more of what we've grown accustomed to in 2020 here. But hopefully next year we get some positive changes, a little bit of happiness, some wins. We all need some wins. The world needs some wins right now. Hey, Megatron, what's up, man? How you doing? Yep, and Thunderhead, you're absolutely right. Series of optical illusions. We're all a bunch of regular David Copperfields. Man, I can't spit that out. Houdinis. Now you see it, now you don't. And Nomadic, you cracked me up earlier. You were like, you could defer to Justin. He can talk and I have to type. I like when you defer and act like I might know stuff, because most of the time I'm just like, I don't know. I'll guess. Here's what I might try and do, but it doesn't mean it's right. I don't know. I, for instance, specialize in projecting the illusion that I'm competent. Oh, that's funny. all things in balance. That is fair. Yeah, when I was working on doing some stuff for my Mando costume, which has been put on hold for a bit, because Black Friday, holidays, and whatnot, I was talking about doing contrast stuff, and Austin was like, yo, you ain't gotta do that. This is real life scale, and you got real natural lighting, and you'll get natural shades and shadows and highlights and stuff as you move around. You don't gotta do what you do on a mini. And I was like, I guess I'm just so ingrained in having to do this on everything I do that's where my brain went. Yep. Client Wolf, I agree with Thunderhead here. What's bothering you with him, man? What's bugging you? I mean, I think you've been making great strides when you've shared your work on him. What's going on? Maybe, maybe rather than sending him out as a commission, man, maybe you just gotta take a break and work on something different. Refresh your palette. And I sense your frustration right now, and anything I say is likely not going to be received well, because it's your project and you want it to be done. But grain of salt that, or swallow it a little bit. And you've heard my spiel at the end of every stream. I talk about this every time. You are facing the monotony of getting through an army. You're doing the same thing on 100 different minis and the same details, and the characters are probably fun and the bulk troops are not. Take a break. Don't commission somebody to do it. That's your work. It's almost done. It's almost done. Put it on a shelf. Take a breath. Work on something else. Paint another Battletech mini, man. Paint me something else. I don't care. I mean, it's a mini for me. So yeah, you know. But yeah, like I feel like you had fun with this. You banged that out in one day, and you were really happy and excited. Refresh your palette, man. Paint another mini. Paint something else that makes you happy, right? And then come back to 40K when you could play again, or when you feel motivated, when you've got the inspiration. Save your money, because you're talking about getting a computer, maybe doing some streaming of your own, playing some games with me. Nomadic Chris, Thunderhead, he plays video games online. Can't do that without a computer, so save your money for that. Please, if you can stomach it. And worry about 40K when you worry about 40K. Don't stress it. It took me a little while to swallow my pride and put my Dark Angels on a shelf, but I realized I wasn't having fun with them. I was stressing over getting them done. I I wasn't going to get to play, and I'm not enjoying my community locally for the most part. So there was no real reason to stress over them. I put them in a box. I'm focusing on what makes me happy right now. It's Battletech. There's also almost no one here who plays Battletech, but you know where I can play Battletech? Live on stream with you. So paint up stuff that makes you happy. Put the World Eaters on a shelf. Take a break for a little bit. Come back to them. You know, and if you paint some Battletech, sweet. If you paint some different stuff, cool. If you need me to print you up a few more mechs and send them out to you because you want to work on something, talk to me, man. Gotcha. Yep. And I'm trying to put on the happy face right now on stream. I'm not happy with how this urban mech is coming out right now with my blends. I think they're ass. I'm just trying to be happy and positive on here and not stress over my shit. Because, you know, whatever. I'll get it done, and it's an urban mech. Also, it's Battletech. I have about 1 million freaking models to paint. I'll make it look good enough and be happy. I'm trying not to stress over it, because otherwise, what's the point, right? So, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man? How you doing? That's my secret. I'm always stressed. You missed our live stream, man. Sunday we live streamed Alpha Strike, and I wore a onesie and reindeer antlers. It was PQ. Yep. I'm not sure if people from the stream would agree that it was cute, but they funded it and made it happen, so I got to sear their optical nerves. As the kids would say, that's funny. Who or what is the Royal Warden? Inform us, Clan Wolf. What is this? I think, oh, okay, gotcha. Joe, I am quite happy with the mechs that you painted me. And it is a matter of art and perspective, and you took the time to paint minis for me, for my army, and that says something. And I am very proud to own them. They are in my bag, and I will use them. Just like if Austin painted me some mechs, I would be equally happy with those. Doesn't matter how much time he spent on them, as long as he's happy and he did something cool. So I'm happy with your stuff. You painted them. You had fun, and I'm pretty happy with the results, man. I got a mech from Clan Wolf that he painted me too. Very different. This is and you can do this too, Joe, if you want. It's up to you. If you want some inspiration for doing something as a unique one-off. Clan Wolf painted this for me. This is Strigoi. This is Clan Wolf as a independent contractor, a merc, a gun for hire that the MFA can pay to pop in and fight with us. So he painted this up for me. So if there is a mech that you just want to paint and you want to do a paint scheme that is unique and you don't care if it matches anything, this is a Marauder 2. Marauder 2. So if there's something you want to do, and you would like to have literal Joe, your version of you, as a model in my my mercs that could potentially pop up on live streams and battle reports and so forth, feel free. If we need to print you something to paint, we could do that too. We can get that done for you. If you don't want to do it, don't. I'm not trying to pressure you. It's more of a, if you want a palette cleanser or you want to do something new and fun, there you go. Yep, it'll be you on the tabletop, and I'll do like I did for Clown Wolf. He typed out the name and printed it. I just taped it on the bottom. We could put your name of your mech on the bottom. It's really hard because this is really thin. I can't freehand it there, but we could put your name on the bottom. Old JoJo. So he's a gun for hire, but not an MFA employee. He's just a contract worker. That's what he is. So there you go. I think that's cool. And then during games and such, can have you physically manifested or visible. There. We were hoping you were going to pop into the stream and play with us. But whatever. Next time we'll hopefully do a little bit better of a job with getting everything set up. Learned a little bit. They will physically manifest indeed. Yeah, Austin had a good time, I think. I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but I felt like we had a nice change of pace from what's been normal, air quotes, for COVID times. And being able to play some games and roll some dice was a lot of fun. In between Austin's uncanny ability to roll double sixes and double ones and Clan Wolf DFAing everything, it was pretty bananas. And I think it was Dragon jumped on Javasuko's mech. We had to bring Javasuko in off the bench. We needed help. And he gets like 2 turns in, it gets DFA'd, and it gets an ammo explosion. It dies. It was pretty funny. The only mech on our side of the field that did not actually explode was Colby's. He went down to damage, but he did not explode. So I was like, well, your mech hunches over next to a wall, and your pilot crawls out of it, and you go to the nearest bar. The rest of us, they might have scraped us out of the mechs. We died. Kill the meat, save the metal. Yep. What's going on, phone? Sure. What's up, Daph? What you got? What's your question, my man? Like my specs, my PC specs, or like this whole setup here. Yeah, what's it like being an internet celebrity? I don't know, man. My OnlyFans ain't doing so hot right now. My version of WAP that I released, my cover, it wasn't so good. WAP City, as I called it, my rap cover for WAP, got blapped by the critics. It wasn't so good. I have no idea. That's fair. Oh my god, the dab is still on. Fuck. God, dab. I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off. I forgot I turned it back on. I hate it. I hate it. Where it is. There it is. Dab is off. Yeah, more feet pics indeed. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'd have to look. It was a pre-built PC that I bought. I always feel like Adam when I dab. But yeah, we bought it from one of the guys from the community who was getting out of streaming, and he used it for video gaming, and I use it for streaming this. I could get you some specs if you want. I'll just have to figure out where to find them, but I have no idea on this thing what it is. Your tabs are more impressive. Oh, that's funny. I'm trying to like blend up. I'll come in and I'll highlight and then I'll glaze over the surface. There's a lot of glazing there at the end. It takes a while. And I kind of just feel it out as I go. So like this is the so if we're numbering these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is number 2 in the stage. So I'll take this and I'll kind of like prep the surface a little bit. And then I try and grab number 3, and I try and come in kind of at the edge and feather it. Sometimes more successful than others. My blends aren't quite as drastic as I would like them. They end up kind of focusing on the edge mostly. My blends that are on the full area aren't quite as good, and you can even see here that was pretty not good right in there. It was a little chalky looking. That's not what we were after. So, and then I come back in. Yes, a WAP palette. That's funny. Yeah, I'm liking the synthetic. I'm not a fan of. I'll use this, but not for anything important. The synthetic Kolinsky, I do not like it. I don't like this. It curled. The tips curled really bad. This one's starting to curl, but it's worked pretty good for what I need it for. The synthetic Kolinsky, I'm not a fan of. I mean, I'll use it for washing and mixing, but I'm not going to do anything major with it. It just didn't work out for me. I like the bomb wick, and I think the other one's the igniter, which I've like all the text is off of it. It's been used so much. I think these are the igniters. I like these two, the orange and the baby blue. I'm not a big fan of the dark blue one. It's not my favorite. So in the future, I will be bypassing the synthetic Kolinsky, and I'll just use regular synthetic and the regular Kolinsky. Sable. Guess what I'll do. So like I'll come through and I'll try and kind of get a little bit of an edge at the top there. Didn't get enough on zest on that one. Let's see here. And then I'll usually grab a little bit of the really bright blue here and put just a little dab. Okay, we'll put a little bit right here. That's funny. Excellent. All right, so then I'll come in and I'll grab a little bit of the dark blue, and I'll mix it with my glaze medium, and I'll come in and I'll push the shadow parts down here. You just kind of aim it at the dark spots with it. Okay. Put a little bit more in a few areas here. I have no idea. I just kind of do stuff that looks good, if I'm honest. That's a really terrible answer. Alright, so I come in with the number 3 blue here. Also with a little bit of glaze. And then I pull up to the area where I want the blue to be the brightest, but I do cover the whole area with it. The whole surface I'm working on. Prevent the pooling though. There's probably a more technical way to approach highlighting a sphere or cylinder here, which is what his leg kind of is. I'm not very good at it. I would defer to Thunderhead probably and Nomadic Chris. Nomadic Chris has been doing a lot with non-metallic metals lately, and color placement and shape is a really big deal with non-metallic metal. If you get it wrong, it's going to look stupid. So he's been working on that. That's somewhere I struggle. And a lot of times when I paint, as I tell people, I just do things. I don't always know exactly what I'm doing. I just do them, and then when I'm and it's annoying. When I'm done, a model usually looks okay, maybe even good sometimes. It is also why it's hard to replicate sometimes. I just do stuff. But we can see that leg is looking a lot better than it was. And I'll let that dry, and I'll do another layer of glaze once it's dry. Yeah, it looks a lot better than it did. It's getting there. I feel like the dark areas could be a smidge darker, though. And one of the things I've been doing lately is just playing around more with glazes. Both with Pro Acryl with this project. This is all Pro Acryl right now. And then I say it wrong. I say Pro Acryl. I believe Jason calls it Pro Acryl. I call it Pro Acryl. Pro Acryl. It's pretty close, but like pronunciation's a little different. I've been just playing around with it, both with glazing, working with inks to tint surfaces. And you'll see with each kind of layer of the glaze, that blue at the top gets a little bit more vibrant, and it kind of pulls it all together. And I'm pulling, in this case, to the right and up, because I want the maximum amount of that paint pigment to pool and be left sitting on top of where I want the maximum saturation of blue to be, which is the tops of these panels and the top area here of the leg, his little trash leg, can leg there. I'd also accept Precadactyl. Pracryl. Jason is good people. It's been a pleasure working with him on the manufacturing front as well. I'll show some paint with no sound. Lipstick Bob Ross over it now. Have little PVC cannons. This is my attempt at throwing an Atlas in here. Where's this little head? Where's this little Atlas head? His little pew-pew arms. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. That was my attempt at doodling an stick figure Atlas. Oh. No. His Atlas got murdered during the game too. It's so funny. Battletech cartoonist. Yeah. Yeah, Thunderhead, it is definitely awesome to see a jump in terrain. We started our project before COVID, I think. I didn't even, if I'm honest, I didn't even know who you were at the time. It was just a deal that actually we might have started talks last year and then got going this year. And Joe got us in contact with Blacksite, and we were having a conversation about doing some. No, not bugging. Not talking about you bugging for Battletech. Talking about when we started it. Because he's talking about he's doing some 3D design stuff. This is Thunderhead, which you might have known him. I didn't. But he's got some terrain. I had never seen it until a couple months ago, I think. But yeah, it is nice to see Battletech getting some love. What was I about to click on? I was about to click something. I don't remember now. I was gonna click something. I don't remember what I was gonna click. We'll get to it at some point. Anyway, yeah, we why is this drawing so matte? I don't understand why. But yeah, it is nice to see Battletech as a whole in kind of this golden era of design stuff, and new mechs, new plastics, new people getting into it, the whole nine. It's just really nice to see. I've really enjoyed it. I think there's still going to be some contention with the 3D print community in regards to the mechs. Agreed. To the mechs though, because I had a conversation, a short one on Instagram about this, and the guy was saying he'd heard it's a 3D printer's dream, and it is. But I was like, I also buy the stuff the company produces, because if we don't buy the stuff they produce, they won't keep making the game. You know. But I try and support where I can, because I'd like to see the game continuing to exist. It's the same reason why people don't do like printed Magic cards. I mean, you could print them and play with them at home, and that's fine. But if no one bought Magic cards, Magic wouldn't exist. Same thing with like pirating video games. If they sold one copy and one person bought it and gave it to everyone, we wouldn't get new games. You know, so I do try to support where I can, but I do print some stuff as well. Yeah. But I think it's a little different when people have their own designs they're doing or creating from scratch. It's slightly different versus just printing MWO stuff. They can't really stop it, but you know, if the company's not making money, they might not be putting out products as consistently, or you end up with them putting out products and you get a book print run, and then it goes out of production, and it gets super rare and you can't get it because they don't make a lot of money. I mean, one's a card, and you have to buy the card to play the card, and one's a mech. You got to buy the mech to play the mech. I mean, to me, it seems identical. If you want an artist to continue making music, if you can download an MP3, but if you don't buy it, they don't make money. They make money in different ways now, but it's the same thing. If they weren't making some money off, they wouldn't make music. If you print Magic cards, no one's buying Magic cards. No one's going to be doing that. You can print all the mechs you want and play with the old books, but if there's not products on shelves being sold, it's catering to people who already know about Battletech, not new people. Point is, if the company that owns the rights to Battletech is not making money, we're not going to get new Battletech stuff. That's just the way that it is. And I generally don't have a problem with printing, but it's an issue that's currently at the forefront. And same with Games Workshop, just they're so big. But over the next 10 years, I think, as printing becomes more affordable, we're going to see a shift in how stuff is done. So I think we're going to start seeing companies selling STLs for models, which can still be shared. It's going to be hard to stop, but I think that's what's coming, because they're not going to stop anybody. I mean, that's fair. That is totally fair, but if people don't buy the models, you can't get mad if they stop making the models. Same thing with the books. You could get PDFs all day long that are downloaded. If no one buys the books, they're not going to make the books. Well, I mean, we're going to have to agree to disagree, because I'm going to get really angry. This is where we're going, Joe. To say that CGL ain't hurting is the same as me saying that that's cool, let's all pirate Cyberpunk and give them no dollars. Then we don't get more games. You know, I don't have a problem in general with printing mechs, but the point is, if you don't buy a book and you pirate a book, they're not making money. There's no incentive to make more books. If you don't buy the song, you download the song from someone else, the artist that made the song has no incentive to create more music. So that's the way it is. There is a huge amount of Battletech stuff on the internet that you can get for free, but people can't bitch if CGL or Topps or whoever in the future has access to the IP. You can't bitch if there's no new books coming, or you can't get books or models or new stuff if people don't buy the stuff and they just go out and download it. I don't understand why it's an issue. Downloading illegal music, downloading illegal games, downloading books that you didn't pay for. Like, people do it. I've seen plenty of PDFs for stuff, but I also try and support. This is my point. I don't mind 3D print. What I'm saying is, if people aren't also supporting the game. I don't disagree with you that there were mechs that or things that were ass and why you'd want a 3D print. I'm okay with it. My point is, as a whole, if the community is not willing to support the game, the company has no incentive to produce more books or minis or anything. So that I agree with you. There's the reason why 3D printing is happening was there. Because the minis were shitty. I get why. The most of the old pewter and even plastics was shit. But if people are content not supporting the company, but still want to play their game 20 years from now, if you're still using pirated books because you can't buy books because Battletech's no longer making stuff, you didn't buy it. It's the same type of notion for shopping local. Right? You can go online and buy all the stuff you want from Miniature Market and save 10 to 20% on your whole order. That is 100% a real thing you can do. If you do that and then you go play at your local shop and you don't spend any money there, and then 6 months go by and you spend another $1,000 on Miniature Market and you buy another whole Battletech army or 40k army or all your Magic cards or whatever. You go to, Channel Fireball or whatever, you order your singles. You do all these things, and then you go play at that shop. And then the next guy's like, oh, hey, you got your minis or your cards cheaper than the shop sells them for or can afford to because they got overhead and these other places don't have a storefront. And so you come in and you play the games there, but you don't spend any money there. The shop has no incentive to stay open, so therefore they don't stay open and they close or could close. It's the same thing with products. If people just bootleg all the products, all the books, all the things, and they don't actually spend money on the products, the company may not make them anymore. Now, you can still play the game at home in your garage or in your spare room or whatever you want, and that's fine. You can do it. You could, I mean, I got books right now that I picked up that I'm sure PDFs exist that are, from 1996. You can still play them. You can still use all that old stuff, but if you want new stuff, you got to support the company. That's why, like, I've got plenty of 3D printed stuff sitting here that I've done, but I also have bought plenty of Catalyst things because the 3D prints are just mostly, as you said, Thunderhead, for mechs that are kind of ass or don't exist or you can't get easily. And it's like, okay, yeah, for that, I get it. But I've also made sure I support the company. I'm not going to tell someone to just print all their stuff in pirate books. Not that you guys said pirate books, but that's a big thing here. Because I'd like to see the company continue. Yeah, I don't know anything about an embezzlement or the Shadowrun. I mean, that's fair. And I mean, if that is an issue where a company's doing poorly internally, then my answer to that would be, I would hope whoever gets the IP later just does a better job. Like, I don't much care who makes it, so long as someone's making things. That's the way I look at it. That's me. And I'm not trying to get on here and like preach at you guys. It's just I've seen games come and go, and I've seen shops come and go, and spending money is a big deal. It's why when I go to my local shop, I do try and spend some money when I can, and even though I can get it cheaper at Miniature Market, because if I want to have a shop to play at, I gotta spend money there, or he's gonna close. That's just the way it is. For people that play at home, it's less of a thing for them, and I get it. But for me, I like having a place to play. Yeah, I'm not sure what all the legalities are, enough to, or my caring is very limited because I don't do any design stuff. But it's the same thing of, designing your own thing versus distributing. If you make your own model and you print it, like, no one's really going to care. You took the time designing it. But, for example, if you design your own Primaris Marines that look identical to GW, let's say identical, because, like, a sci-fi Space Marine dude is fine. If it looks like a sci-fi armored guy, they can't do shit about it. But let's say it looks identical or super duper close to a Primaris Marine, and it's almost unable to identify the difference, right? And now it's a copyright issue, and especially when it's free. If it's not free, you're making money off. If it's free, there's still an issue. Now all of a sudden people are printing models, playing the game. GW's making no money in this case, and one can argue, oh, GW's big, they can handle it. That's true, but that only lasts for so long, so that becomes an issue for why it's heavy-handed. I would assume. I think the other difference would be, like, if you were designing your own stuff that did not look like something of theirs. So, like, I think it's Ares Miniatures has their own mech designs that they have rules for that aren't canon, but they made them. Like, they can't really do shit about it. It's a robot that is their own design. But if the model in question looks super duper close, not just, at a glance similar, it is almost, like, you almost can't tell the difference, then, you got people who are printing a free model, or, well, not free because they got to buy the materials, but printing a model versus spending the money, and that is, then there lies the issue. And again, I don't know all the legalities are, but that's the major problem with it, is they're not making money off it. But if you're designing your own robot thing, and it's some bullshit claim that they're saying that yours looks like something of theirs when the only similarity is that it's a robot and it is your own unique design, then yeah, they can screw off with that. Which GW had that with Chapter House, like, and they lost a lot of parts of that case because that company was designing their own things that were compatible but weren't basically rip-offs. They just had certain likenesses. Yeah. Yeah, I personally, when it comes to 3D printing, you're going to see, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot of cease and desist. You're going to see a lot of protection of the IP from every company. I'm sure GW is going to be doing it too, as they're the big dog, you know. But I really think this is we're in an age where companies are going to be adapting to it, or they're going to fall victim to it. I think that's what's going to happen, personally. I think it's gonna change how things go. Some people disagree with me, but I really do think 3D printing is the future. I like being able to get my plastic mechs and not have to mess around with 3D printing, and I think there's still a place for manufacturing to some degree, but I really do think that the entry level for 3D printing and the cost of it becoming so much cheaper is making it a lot more appealing to the average consumer. And these files that are out there, these free files, and even some you pay for that look really nice, are going to become more and more popular. And companies that want to prevent issues are going to have to adapt. You know, I think that's just where it's going to be. You're still going to have piracy and distribution of stuff. It's always going to be a problem, just like, you know, even me bitching about, or not bitching, but talking about, you know, PDFs and pirated source books, which GW has dealt with for a long time as well. That's always going to be an issue. It's just damage control. What do you do to try and mitigate that? You know, that's what's I think that's what's coming. I think you're going to see a lot more companies embracing 3D print and selling STLs. Personally, I don't know if this is going to happen. We'll see. Yeah, I think GW's got away from some of the DIY stuff, which the 3D print area helps with. I'm more looking at talking about conversions here and customization and such. They started removing anything that you could do that was custom. You know, like they got rid of characters that didn't have models that, you know, they expected you to kit bash and make. They got away from all that and got rid of them in lieu of things they made models for after the chapter house thing. And I get it, but they have gone even farther in that, like, if they didn't make a bit for it and you had to customize it, but they did make the model, they just didn't make this one thing, or you could kit bash and make a librarian biker. Now, this one I get salty about. You could. They took it out because they didn't make one. So they're getting very far away from at least the customization aspect, which the 3D print really helps with, but they have steered way clear of it these days. I mean, look at the new Primaris models versus the old standard Space Marines. The customization options are so limited compared to what they used to be. It's one of my problems with them. You can't do nearly as much cool stuff as you used to be able to do. You know, in terms of like torso swaps and arm swaps, leg swaps, stuff like that. It is very different. And that was part of the fun I had with converting and kit bashing. The key term there being kit bashing. Which you do get a lot of people like Pop Goes the Monkey, for example. I'm way more familiar with 40K than I am Battletech 3D stuff, who makes a lot of bits that are compatible with GW stuff, because GW doesn't make them. And that kind of lends itself into what you're talking about with DIY stuff, or at least to a degree. And I'm fine with that. Like, I have no problem, because they're compatible things. Like, that's not a big issue. The problem is like GW in this case created that vacuum themselves, because they started trying to take away the customization options, and other people are like, that's cool. We'll just keep making stuff. That's fine. No big deal. You be dumb. You know? Yep, I'm right there with you on that, man. There was a certain passion for the subject matter beyond just selling kits, and I appreciated that, but they've very much so deviated, and that is, you know, you're seeing me sit here and paint Battletech on stream instead of 40K right now. I'm working on models for me to play Battletech with instead of my 40K stuff right now, because I'm having more fun with this, and I feel like GW they don't care about the hobby. They don't care about most things. They just care about the dollars, which I get it. You're a business. I get that aspect. But also, if you care about more than just the dollars and your customers feel appreciated and you're not just pumping out more Space Marines to just steal their wallets, they're going to appreciate that. And not everyone will, and that's fine. But for me, they've pushed me out. I've still got my stuff, and there's things I want to get, but I am not as invested as I once was because they've went full on like capitalism with it, and I get it. Your business, make money, but also it rubbed me the wrong way with how they're doing it, and I'm just not for me. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it is. You could still get MP3s downloaded illegally. You can still get books. You could do all these things, even though there's been cases for it. You're not going to stop it, but companies have adapted to it. You've got streaming now that's way more convenient. So sure, you can go to some shady site and download MP3s, but now you can just pay $10 a month or whatever, get access to Apple Music and get all the music you could ever want forever and ever, as long as you pay for that service. And it's like, that's how they adapted. It's harder on the artists, but they had to adapt, right? So 3D printing is going to be the same way. You're not going to stop the things. It's how you adapt to it that's going to be the big deal. And that's what I'm talking about. Supporting a company is part of it. You want to vote with your dollars and whatnot, but also the companies are going to have to also do their part to try and sway things as well. Not just legally, but like, hey, we can't stop this. What can we do to adapt and stay up to date with the times? So like, people are always going to share files, and there's plenty of Patreons that we are backers on, Austin and myself, that we get, or DRD I should say. He's the backer. I'm just the guy who prints stuff for him at work. Where he gets files, and they have lots of backers. It really only takes one of those backers to share the files, and that Patreon is over. But people support it because they want those people to keep making things. So that's the thing, like supporting companies you want to support, but knowing that there is going to be some level of black market, so to speak, not necessarily selling, but like giving away, distributing, whatever. It's what you do to get in line with the times. How are you going to change your business model to appeal to the 3D printing community who may just want to print stuff, may not like your price scheme, whatever their excuse may be. What can you do to get them to be supporting your initiative and what you're doing? Like, how do you do it? And if you don't adapt to it and try and do something, you're going to fail, because not everyone's going to just support you, out of the kindness of the heart, like I'm talking about. Like, you got to support a company to get products or to keep them, in business doing stuff. Not everyone's going to do that. And before the business approaches the go out of business perspective, what can you do to mitigate these issues ahead of time? What options do you have? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, what are they going to do to combat it? So yeah, and this is coming from me, and I 3D print stuff all the time. But I also backed their, in this case CGL, I backed their Kickstarter, and I've bought mechs and books and whatnot. I just supplement with 3D printed stuff, especially if there's a better sculpt in 3D than in the plastic or metal. So that, I guess it might make me slightly a hypocrite, but I'm also trying to do my part to support them too. And I think that they're not completely stupid. They know some of what's going on. But yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. And Thunderhead, I agree with you, and that's kind of what I was talking about. You're always going to have those shady people who don't support an artist. You're always going to have that guy who gets China cast. You're always going to have the guy who gets the PDFs and they don't spend any money there. you're never going to stop that. But trying to build a fondness with the community so that they want to support you is also there too. Like, not saying I condone thieving and stealing and whatnot, but like when people complain about GW and then they don't support them, like, again, I'm not trying to say that it's okay, but GW brings some of that on themselves. And, I'm not trying to say that doing something illegal is okay, but they also don't help themselves prevent it very much either. So never to say that, like, it's their fault, because other people have a conscious decision to make, but some of their interactions with the community don't help their case, if that makes sense. But yeah, as you were saying, like, the people wanted to share files, and they were like, no, I paid for these. If you want to support the artist and you want him to make more new stuff, you support him too. So yeah. Yep, 100%. Yeah. Oh yeah, I try and be super rational always, man. Like, the only reason I said I was going to get heated is I like Battletech. I like the lore from 40K, even if GW pisses me off. I like video games. I like the things I like. But if people don't support those companies, I can't get what I like. You can't get what you like. And then we're stuck playing with Battletech books from 1999. You know what I mean? And it's finding that middle ground that's going to appease everyone and make the changes. Like, I don't know how you enforce it, and there's such a I don't know. There's a community around sharing files, 3D printing stuff, as you know, in Battletech. So if Catalyst was like, hey guys, we know you do a lot of 3D printing, we're going to sell STLs on our website, I feel like one person would buy all the STLs and just put them up and everyone would download them. I feel like that would happen. So I don't know how they would combat it. But at some point in the future, being able to be like, hey, manufacturing these plastics is hard. It takes 6 months for us to get a thing to market, blah, 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 or stocks are low while we wait on restocks. Just like you could buy a PDF of a book, which that people share too. I'm not saying it's okay, but they do. You could buy the physical, you could buy the PDF. If they embrace some, I don't know how you do it and how you enforce it, but if they embrace some form of, here's the physical box, or here's the fee you pay and you can get the STLs and print it yourself and not wait on us to ship it, or we're out of stock, something like that. Like, yo, I really like this Hellbringer and I can't find one right now. And they're like, yeah, well, it's going to be 6 months before a China supplier can get us these boxes. You could buy the STL if you want, and you have the option and print it on your own. And then it's up to you, trial and error to get the best print possible, but you've got the file. The problem is like one person buying it, give it to everyone. I don't know how you enforce it, but I think that's stuff that we're going to see. I think it's what we're going to see. I mean, that's fair. I do feel like I'm not completely crazy though. Like currently, if those files went up as STLs, the 3D print community on Facebook, they would be updated nearly instantly with those files, and then it would be a constant back and forth litigation wise to stop that distribution. Like I don't know what you do, and I still think that they're going to do something in the future. I just don't know. I don't know how you stop it. I don't know what you do. It's a difficult subject all around. But I don't want to come across as someone who's anti 3D print. I'm not. Hell, I've got some of your mech designs. I've got at least 3 of your mechs printed and in my bag right now because they're super awesome and they look just like the subject matter that they're based on. For me, that wasn't me just trying to stick it to the man. It's like, I just like your version of the model, right? And this is me. I do this with 40K as well. I'll use a proxy and I'll have a cool looking model or a cool looking bit. But if I was going to a tournament where they were strictly enforcing that kind of thing, where you weren't allowed to use third-party stuff or printed stuff, I would have my printed stuff and I would have a stand-in of the real model in my bag. And if somebody complained, I would just be like, that's fine. You don't like that I have this 3D printed model that's not an official sanctioned model for whatever game I'm playing, whether it's 40K or Battletech or Infinity or whatever the hell it is. I'll be like, hold on. I'll put this back in my bag and I'll get the real one and put it on the table. I bought one to support the company. I like this model here because the sculpt is better. That's it. That's it. I like this thing. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, 3D printing's the future. Whoever figures out how to do this stuff first is going to be in a good place. If I'm perfectly honest, I think the most likely approach for what's going to happen is we're going to see a proprietary 3D print program from a company, and of course somebody's going to try and crack it. But much like Apple Music or iTunes, where you buy a file and it works only in that program, and you can print through that program, but you can't. It's tethered to your login, but you can't actually export and send the file out. You could print stuff for people all day long, but you can't just send them a file. Does that make sense? So it's like a proprietary thing, kind of like iTunes used to be, sort of, where it's not the easiest thing to pull a file from iTunes and send it, or at least it used to not be. But in this, it'll be like a download the GW STL, or what's the thing called? STC. Download the Games Workshop STC Printer Maker program, and you go in there and you buy the files you want. They're tethered to your account. You print from within the program, and you can print as many as you want. So yeah, you could print them and send them to people, but you won't actually be able to export a file to distribute. It's all handled in there while you're logged in. I think that is likely what's going to happen, because then you can have an account. Someone bought this with their username, and they can print from within the program, but they can't export an STL or a CTB or a Chitubox file, anything like that. It's you do your whatever, your supports, all that stuff, you print within the program. I think that's likely, because that can be self-contained and enforceable. The problem is then like trying to bring in STLs from outside the program in the program that weren't bought from that. You would end up with two different programs, one for non-official, one for their official, whatever. But that could happen, and that would be one way to do it. But you got to invest money in it, and you got to have a company that's willing to go down that road. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, like a print on demand. Yeah. And this has been a very interesting topic to tackle on stream, if I'm honest, because it's very relevant to what's going on in the community. And about 5 months ago, probably, maybe not even that long, Austin and I were having a conversation with an event organizer that we support, and we were in Discord, a Discord call, and he was telling me he didn't think 3D printing was going to ever get to the point that we're talking about right now. And then you fast forward a couple of months, and he's talking with Austin on Discord and sharing pictures of files he's printed, and he has bought multiple printers, and he has now jumped on board. And I'm like, that didn't take long. He didn't think it was going to happen. And then he saw the price point and the quality, and he started printing stuff. Sure did. And so he's got all kinds of bits for his Chaos Knights and custom Knights that he had designed and stuff like that. And this was a guy that months prior didn't think it was ever going to be a consumer grade thing, or at least not anytime soon. And then he jumped on board and saw that for $300, there's a lot of cool shit that you can do. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the thing, my response to that is I vote with my dollars and I play games I want to play. I stopped feeding into the GW style of things. I will occasionally still buy models and still play their game, but I do not do like I used to do. This is why I am so invested in the resurgence of Battletech, because I think that the model count is low, the models are cheap, the game can be as complicated or as simple as you would like it to be, and it's a breath of fresh air compared to 40K for me. It's just, I like it. Now, I don't do any competitive gaming generally these days. I've never played in a 40K tournament, never had an interest. I have played in War Machine tournaments, and in X-Wing and every other game I've played except for 40K. I have no interest in a 40K tournament. I don't think the rules are balanced well for it, in my opinion. But I like Battletech. I like the aesthetic. I like the universe, the lore, the game. Like, it's good, and I want to see it get to a point where when you go to a local store, and if you want to do a pickup game of Battletech, you can find it. And in some places that is true, but right now, by and large, it's not. If you want a pickup game and you go in for anything other than 40K, in most places, or AOS, that might be popular and 40K may not. It depends on your local area, but it's generally one of the two. Good luck. Right? If I walk into my local store right now and I want to play Battletech, good luck. If I want to play Infinity, good luck. If I want to play 40K, I could do it. Right? It's like... And it's the same approach I have with Infinity. I want to see them succeed. And here's the other deal. While I may have some qualms with some of PP's stuff, I want to be... I'm critical of them, but I also want to see them succeed too, even though I'm not actively playing their games. And here's why. Success breeds innovation. And if they're doing well, they're going to force other games to try and do well, much like FFG did to GW, and GW had to adapt. If Battletech's doing well, the next company's going to have to compete, and they got to do well, which forces Battletech and the other companies to do well. And like that competition for my dollars means they have to do better. And if they do bad, I vote with my dollars. Simple as that. Yep. So I may not play a game, but I don't wish them any ill will. And some people do. They'll be like, oh, I'm a 40K player, screw Privateer Press. And it's like, I mean, okay. But also, if PP's doing well and your store has even more players playing multiple games, they're making more money. And also, if GW had no competition, if Battletech wasn't around, Infinity wasn't around, Privateer Press's games, if none of those existed, we'd still be back in the dark ages, no pun intended there, of 40K, where we were not getting models and we were getting shit on, and we just bought it because it was the only game in town outside of perhaps historicals. Other game companies doing well and succeeding has forced other game companies to do better. And that's why I'm all for it. I want all the game companies that I don't follow to also be doing amazing, because it means that the companies I do support also got to step their game up. That's just the way it is. Otherwise, you risk stagnation, and that's a thing. Yep. I get real heated about this stuff because, like, I want in my lifetime to see the growth and the progression and the newness. I don't want to be sitting here in 20 years being like, well, you remember that Clan Invasion Kickstarter from Battletech? Those were the days. It was so good, and after that, it was the dark times, and Comstar came in and turned off all the lights on us, and we don't get any more 40K. Not 40K, any more Battletech. Oh my God. Pepperidge Farm remembers when we got new battle mechs, do you? I don't want that. I don't want to be like 40K back in 4th and 5th edition when you were playing with a 3rd Ed Codex when someone else had a 5th Ed Codex. Like, I don't want that shit. Like, I want to be able to see new stuff. That doesn't mean I want new stuff all the time that I have to blow money on. Like, I don't want you to just make rules to make rules, but, like, I want to see you pushing that threshold. That's me. Interesting. Yep. And yeah, Thunderhead, from our very, very lowly, humble, small status as DRD, we have noticed this year how many people are buying hobby products, even terrain. I expected to be out of a job and Austin to be bare bones working at DRD just to keep the lights on. That's what I expected. This is why I purged a lot of models beginning of the summer. I sold a lot of stuff because I was worried. We have done better this year than we expected and better than previous years. It's been very ridiculously well, all things considered. And I think it's because people are at home and they do have time to do stuff, and they are trying to do stuff with their time. So they were doing hobby stuff. So very much so unexpected. And yeah, so I have managed to get a portion of a leg done on my urban mech here. Not as much forward progress as I expected on the totality of the mech, but he's looking pretty good in that one area, that one leg. We did run over though today, so I am gonna put a little extra glaze on the shadow there, and then I gotta get ready to go. We're out of time today. Gotta get to the shop. And speaking of 3D printing, there are some fantasy minis that we just bought that I'm going to be trying to print at the shop today, because one of them looks like something I wouldn't mind painting for Nomadic Chris. So we'll see if I can't get that file printed tonight. Yep. And for anyone who's here, I hope that my thoughts come across proper. I'm not trying to be condescending or mean to anyone. My comment earlier about I'm about to get angry is more like, if we can't find a common ground of what we're talking about, and one party, and this is not you, Thunderhead, this is when I was talking to Joe, if one party is like, screw a company, I'll just pirate everything, and I'm having to defend the company when I'm okay with printing and stuff. I also think in this case, like GW, every book should come with a code for a digital PDF. I don't know why they don't. It's stupid that you gotta buy both, but again, because they kind of push some of the community doing stuff. But the issue is like, I was worried I was gonna have to really argue why you should support a company if you like the IP, and what happens if you don't support the company. So I was getting a little heated. I think we got full circle, but I have anxiety and I worry about that shit. So I stress that someone might be like, oh, Justin was a dick. So hopefully this came across properly. Yeah. Oh, I haven't. I don't get to hang out on streams as much as I would like to. That's a big problem for me. I don't get to hang out with people as much as I used to. So, but I just want to clear the air and make sure, because that's it's a very touchy subject for me. It's like talking religion or gun control or abortion or politics. Like, shit gets heated, right? Supporting a company, it gets heated. And fortunately, we're talking about Battletech. We're not talking about Star Wars, which I get real heated about, because I love Star Wars, but I hate some of the dumb shit they've done. But it comes from the heart. I just want to see I want to see companies succeed, so that we can benefit. And on the subject of Star Wars, that's one thing that makes me really excited about Mando, in addition to all the other cool Star Wars stuff, more minis. So, but yeah. Anyways, here's where we are on the trash can. I feel like he's looking pretty close. This one's got more of a sheen on it. I'm not sure what I did different. Maybe my glaze mix was not mixed properly. This one's got a little bit more matteness to it, but whatever. I still think it's not too far off. Looking pretty cool. I'm definitely liking how they go. Daff, no. Yeah, and Thunderhead, that seems pretty shitty, man. It's your store. As long as you're within the discount agreements that you offer, or that you agree to not go above or below, or whatever the number is. Being like, well, you've got a privateer press rack, so our rack has to be taller and in front of it, and in front of the main window, like, requiring a poster or something somewhere, like, that seems reasonable, but requiring you to basically put their product in front of someone else, if I read that correct, that seems really shitty. It's your store. Organize it the way you want. Yeah. I mean, GW also competes with itself. They know. I mean, GW will have a Games Workshop store up the road, and they'll have an FLGS down the road from it, and knowing that the FLGS is discounting probably 10%, you know, they compete with themselves. So, and then from the managers I've talked to that worked at GW stores, they're bare bones staff, and they have quotas they want them to meet, and then it's like, you want me to sell X number of units, but the FLGS up the road is selling them at 10 to 15% less than I can. And then you get, they struggle to make the quotas, or you have disingenuous stuff where they lie about stuff to the customers, or they push stuff. Like I watched a GW rep when I was in a store once teaching a new player how to play 40K to get them to buy models. And he had the kid rolling dice and didn't explain any rules. He was just like, roll this dice. Oh, look, you killed all my models. That type of thing. And I'm just like, you didn't explain any rules, and you're just making this kid feel good, and he has no idea what happened, and nothing actually happened. Half those rolls weren't even real. Like, they didn't mean anything. You just had him roll and just said, oh, yeah, remove all the ones. Anything that's not a 1 kills my stuff, or some dumb shit like that. And I'm like, they're bolters. Like, I get you don't want to get bogged down explaining the rules, but also it's shitty to get someone in thinking that, like, it's that good, and then they get the models and they learn the real rules, and they're just like, well, I've invested hundreds of dollars and now I'm playing the game and it's not anything like what you did. Or little Timmy's mom buys the stuff for little Timmy, and little Timmy's like, this isn't what he said it was. You know, like, that's yeah. Yep. So, anyways, guys, we are to that time of the stream where it is time for us to hop offline. It has been a nice and lively chat. A lot of people here today. Thunderhead, it is always a pleasure. Before we hop offline, I'm going to hit that shout out one more time. If you guys aren't following Thunderhead Studio, make sure you pop on over, hit that follow button, show him some hobby love. And we'll go one step further as well. If you guys are interested in helping support what he does, check out this model here and anything else here that you might see on Still Warrior Studios website that old Mr. Thunderhead has designed and has for sale. This is a physical product here that he designed, but I believe he's also got STLs up here as well that you could buy and print yourself. So if you want to help support an artist and not just pirate their files, check that out. He's also got some free files up on, I think in his Discord. I can't remember the file storage website, but if you're interested in some of the mechs he's designed that he's legally probably not selling because he doesn't want to get issues, but they're for free because they have a likeness to something that's official, but he made a cool design in his own way, he can get some links to those too. I've got his Shadowhawk variant, his Griffin, and his Warhammer. So he's got stuff that he designed himself up for sale, and the things that bear a major likeness that are up for free. So check those out if you're into doing some printing and you want to support a local or a fellow Twitch streamer who's on that grind and doing their own thing. So, and finally, if you want to help support what I do, yeah, man, no problem. Anytime. Again, not just because you're cool people and I'm trying to play that Twitch game, but also your dropship is fucking amazing. I gotta get the primer on it and start playing around with the airbrush. But the engineering that went into 3D printing that out of the FDM print, the spools, and getting that to function the way that it does is bananas. Like, that's, if you were to take those files and those designs and you were able to market it to the company and get like plastic injection, it'd be even more crazy. Like, that's some crazy level of stuff, man. So I am happy to promote and support stuff that, especially stuff I've seen in person and like. So, yep, it is bananas. And all the pieces, the way they lock together and function is crazy. Like that, if I'm honest, like, if you were just like, yeah, this is just so I can raise money to go the next step and get a box and packaging and plastic injection and mass produced, I'd be like, I believe it, because like that looks like a production level kit that you would get in plastic. It's just out of FDM. Like, it's very clever, we should say, the way that you design the mount stuff. I know I'm lingering here, but that's the stuff that Austin and I talked about. We were quite impressed with how it all went together. I wasn't sure what I was getting into when you said you'd ship me one, and then it came in, and I was like, "This is different." FDM's come a long way, especially because the 3D print that I had just gotten for my Mando costume was kind of. Then I saw yours, and I was like, "There can be really nice FDM," Yep. Cookie, we're talking about Steel Warrior Studios. And they're selling the dropship that Thunderhead designed. And they've got some STLs here that he designed as well. Do they actually... Can you actually sort by who made them? Let's see if we can type in the search and bring in Thunderhead. Oh, here you go. Here's a free sample of things that Thunderhead has up for print from their website. And I'm sure that this will help you find other things that he's got on there for sale if you do 3D printing. So, but yeah. Anyway, I don't want to linger too much, guys. I did have fun working on old trash can here. I'm hoping to get some more progress in during the next session that I get to have. I'm not sure when that'll be because tomorrow is Christmas Eve, Friday is Christmas, and we've got holiday festivities. So I may not get to pick a paintbrush up and touch that model until Monday. And I was really hoping to get more progress done on them, and I didn't. I was really slow. So, but that said, let's see who we've got online today for a raid. And before I go, Thunderhead, thank you, Cake. I appreciate it, man. If you want, if you don't mind, if you want to send me a link, you can DM it to me if you want to your Discord. We went through all this chatting about 3D printing. I would love to be able to engage with your community as well, or at least snag some files, print up, tag them, do the thing, print out some stuff. I'm always looking for new things. And that Rakshas, that guy, the definitely not Timberwolf that the Inner made, looked really cool. And I'd like to see what some of your community is doing, because I don't know what I don't know, and I only see your stuff you post on Instagram. So, being that has raised awareness for someone else's files, and I'd like to see their stuff. And if they've got an Instagram, I'm happy to tag them and raise some awareness for what they're doing, as I do with stuff. When I paint your Warhammer, whenever I get around to it, definitely gonna be getting some tags in. It also happens to be one of my favorite Warhammer sculpts that's out there. It's really cool, and that's not me just placating. If I didn't like it, I would just get a different model, but I do. So anyway, let's see. I think Monument's going to be getting ready to get offline. He usually gets off about the same time I do. So today I think we're going to head over on a raid to Studio J7. If you guys happen to go over there in this raid, make sure you hit that follow button, show some hobby love, and let them know who sent you. I have lingered way too much today, though, folks. I should have been starting my sign-off almost a half an hour ago. So I'm going to leave you with this. You guys are awesome. I love all you faces. If you follow Philip DeFranco, then you're familiar with that statement. But I hope you guys have an awesome holiday. Keep your spirits high. Clan Wolf, keep paying models. Don't get burnt out. And same for all of you guys. And thanks for the lively chat today and keeping me company. But I am going to have to throw this raid out quickly and get ready to go. Else, I might not get to work when I need to get to work. So thank you guys for hanging out. Going to get this raid fired off to Studio J7. And I will catch you guys hopefully on Monday. Can't make any promises, but keep an eye out. There might be a live stream from DRD on Sunday. Not sure, but we will see. In the meantime, hope you guys have an awesome holiday, and I will catch you guys Monday.